You good now? We'll see. At Mark at live streams. I didn't put the link. Fuck. Hang on. Whoops. And also, I need to try not to swear. Still working on that. Looks like it. Oh, just leave it. It'll be fine. A few too many warnings on there, probably. That's alright. It's all good. Right. Now, hopefully, the stream is gonna behave in this map because I still haven't optimized this map yet. Streaming the map now, yes. I think I am, yeah. Well, I am. I should be, but I am. I want to do some map work today because I need to get on with it. How's it going though, Ranger? Yeah, so GPU and draw calls in this map are not very good, which we're gonna need to definitely optimize this map before putting it out. Hey Jenny. Yeah, I'm allowed to. 99% pulling the trigger. Yeah, man. I tried for 2 or 3 months on Linux Mint, but like the Mint was awesome, but half the programs and shit I use, there's just no Windows support, and Wine was just iffy in that. So rather than learning new programs, I just went back to Windows. But I really want to be able to switch over to something else, but it's just not like at least for game dev stuff. Like there's just certain apps you use, kind of thing, and I can't just like undo 10 years of experience in these apps and start fresh, you know? But I really wish. Also, mess around with the odd bit of Kali here and there. That's just in a VM though. Jailbirding, yeah. I had that as well, jailbirding, but it was so annoying to have to restart to use different apps and stuff. What I probably should have done is made a VM inside Linux, but then again, it's like Photoshop. I don't know, it's just like really high performance programs and stuff I use, so yeah, couldn't really work for me. But yeah, let me know how you go though, because I'm definitely keen on that. Hey, Demonic, welcome in. As you guys saw, spoilers today. But yeah, I am allowed to work on this. It's just yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just it will possibly ruin a little bit of the experience for you guys when you play the map for the first time. I am also noticing a lighting bug on this path, which is good. Not sure what that is actually. My shader, I think. We can fix that. All right. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna jump into some map stuff for a little bit today. Hopefully, performance and everything is going to be fine. As I said, this map is not optimized yet, so it's sort of pushing my computer a little bit, and then streaming on top of that. Hopefully, it's not going to be too rough. But yeah. So the map, this is the third version of the map. Um, this is just I've explained before. This is kind of how I how I do things. I kind of make a version, then learn things from that I want to change, and then make a new version, and just so on and so forth. So this is the third version with some of the POIs laid out, and I think I'm more happy with this layout. I just want to add in a few more POIs and maybe get rid of a couple. So yeah, spoilers, obviously. I'm not going to say that again. And things probably will change from here. This is just what we're starting with today. I probably won't do a fourth version. This will probably be the last one. I'll just modify what we have from here. So in terms of the map size, it's probably comparable to, or a little bit bigger than Night of the Wendigo, but I'm gonna. It's not gonna be quite as Jenny said, open ended. This one, it's gonna be a little more directed in spots. Like you can see right now, the whole map. And I'll change the lighting. I'll change everything, so don't judge it too much yet. But and half of these are just kind of like placeholder assets. Um, but you can see it's kind of can someone let me know how performance is, by the way, the FPS on the stream? Is it like watchable or is it just choppy as hell? Um, yeah, it's fine. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so you can see everything's kind of just like open right now. Like it's kind of just all kind of landscape. Um, so I'm gonna put in some more natural barriers and stuff, basically. So this location's had a little bit of decent work done to it. I don't know what is going on with my new my shader thing here. It might be. Let me just check that real quick. Because where are we? My other screen. Oh, also, is the music too loud or too quiet or anything? Maybe it's because we're using the pixel depth offset. I might have to turn that off for this map. Yeah, that is why. So we have this is like um all fake. See how it looks like there's rocks and stuff here? It's all fake. It's basically like a bunch of planes laid on top of each other to make it look like it's 3D, but it's just a texture. And the material, this is something I was working on for this new map, has like these fake shadows built in, so the rocks actually cast shadows, even though that is like completely flat. Um, so yeah, there was just a bug with that. So this is a technique they use, I believe they use for like at Dice on a lot of their photogrammetry assets and that. It's not actually tessellation ranger. Tessellation actually creates a new geometry on the mesh. If I go to the wireframe, see the it's probably hard to see, but the blue lines there. Let's turn this off for a second. Is the actual geometry. So there's no tessellation happening. It's not like splitting this geometry to make more. It's actually just a material effect. Music too quiet. Yeah, can turn it up. I'm not sure if you guys actually really want music or not, to be honest. I just don't know. Like, yeah, it's probably awkward if I don't have anything. Um, but yeah, anyway, so that's how that material works, and I think that was the problem. That was the bug that was going on there. Um, turn it more daytime. Yeah, that was the problem. The shadows were getting messed up on the path. But yeah, anyway, so some of these locations have a bit of work done to them. So you can see the fog and lighting's a bit gnarly in here at the moment, but kind of like a military base thing going on. Some of these materials. Is that a shadow from something? What is that? What the hell? What am I looking at here? This looks like a decal. Yes. Whatever that is. Leakage decal. Not working for some reason. Why? Must have broken something. Like the texture's not being picked up anymore. Oh, that was the problem. The texture just wasn't loading for some reason. I have to look into that. Mild music's good. Okay, 3 days. But yeah, you can see this is one of the locations that has a bit of work done to it, like some of the interior stuff in here. You'll notice from some of the screenshots I posted. Um, but that's not what we're going to work on today. I need to deal with the layout a little more. So probably not going to be the longest stream ever, by the way. But the first thing I want to do is convert this radio tower over now that we've made some headway with our new radio tower system. So radio tower, which one is it? This one, right? I'm just going to get rid of this placeholder stuff. Put in our new thingy. And sort of make a proper area for this. Really be over here. Okay, so this this is going to be the location of the first radio tower. So I basically just want to do some map work on this area now. I'll convert most of this area to gravel. I might need some other textures as well, but make like kind of a bit of an actual kind of area for this. Sure, I keep saving in case we crash. How's everyone going? Is it building? Yeah, building meshes. This is what I want. Well, we could use some of these rocks anyway. The material on this can actually scale up reasonably well without losing texture density too much. Let's see, let's make some sort of natural barrier here just to add a bit of variety to this area. And I want to get the layout and the main POIs down, and then we can look at the like they're called like the in between locations, like the smaller locations. And then yeah, once the main layout and the POIs and stuff are in, I can start doing some interesting AI stuff as well. So yeah, this is kind of what the stream's going to be, just like a lot of placing assets around, trying to make cool shapes. Basically doing some decorating, more or less. Most of this level is going to be hand done as well. Like we did quite a lot of procedural stuff for Bloodfang, and it was kind of just as much work to fix that stuff than it was to create it. So like there were so many like floating trees and stuff. So I'm gonna do quite a lot of stuff manually in this map probably. All right, and I kind of want to make this. Kind of want to add like yeah, some more paths to follow around here. And because the textures on these are reasonably large, if I use one of these assets, I want to like use it a lot of times, as much as I can basically get away with. So because otherwise I'm like paying the cost for having the asset once. But like since the texture's loaded into memory, like I can just use it a whole bunch of times basically. Uh, and these rocks are quite good because you can rotate them in and you kind of can't super tell that it's just the same asset over and over again. Kind of can, but if I like do a better job at rotating and stuff like that, it's harder to tell. And another thing is, I'm definitely not a very good level designer. Lemon is way better at me than me at level design. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best. So definitely open to suggestions and ideas. If you guys spot something or think of something as I'm kind of quietly working away here, but this is gonna be a little bit more of like a, I don't know, Bob Rossi stream. Like I'm probably just gonna um, sort of get in the zone and not be too talkative throughout the stream unless there's questions coming up. Yeah, this is kind of the process for now. Is just like just get like a bit of a feel for it in, and then I'll come back and do another pass on this stuff to get more detail in. But you can see, hopefully, you can see how this area is already feeling like a lot more um, built up and put together now. Rocks. Clean some of these in just a little bit better. Like this. There's also, I can show you this location, I suppose. It probably will change anyway, but this spot up here is also like an example of kind of what I've been working on is like with the terrain and layout and stuff. So there's this basically this bunker thing up here. I mean, I can just do it. I can just play. Oh yeah, I need to fix the blur. I was doing something where, and actually, it'd be good to get your feedback on this. It might be hard to tell on stream, but see how I'm doing like a procedural depth of field effect there, where like the things you look at get more in focus. Ignore the blurry thing in my hand, but I really like that, but I'm worried it might not, like other people might not find that very nice. But it definitely adds to the visual quality. I feel like if I don't know, it's really hard to show you on stream, but like it, you see how that looks way more cinematic, even though this is just like some tree or whatever, just because the background's blurred out, and then if I look past it, it just feels more like yeah, I don't know. Should be a setting. Yeah, it should be a setting. You're right. It'll be a setting that everybody turns off, but I don't know. I like it. Anyway, yeah. So here's one of the locations that am sort of putting together and still working on a bit, but and I won't go into the lore too much yet. I'm compiling some shaders. Looks like I broke the cameras here, but we got look at this. We got physics chains. That's new. You might not be able to hear much of the sound. Yeah, I don't really want it on the characters stuff. Like the characters stuff shouldn't obviously be blurred out like that. Um, yeah, and then there's a elevator and some stuff under here, but we'll get into that another time. I just thought I'd show you some of this location as well. Oh, and yeah, there's dynamic music system as well. So like as you pass through different areas and volumes and stuff, it'll play like contextual music and sound effects and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, let's pot it on with this. I need to also pick where you're gonna start. I'm thinking like somewhere in here, maybe. Uh, I want it to be somewhere where you can definitely see that tower and get drawn to it. Like maybe yeah, around here, maybe like a dock or something. Um, yeah. So let's see. There's not a lot going on out this side. What else can we do around here? Yeah, definitely do some foliage. Actually, yeah. Oh no, it is working. Yeah. Okay. So this is gonna be probably want this a lot lower. I may not even need these to be honest, because the texture already does a pretty good job. Yeah, to be honest, probably don't need these in this area. So never mind on that. Yeah, what else do we want to add in here? I'm just looking through some of the assets we have. Obviously going to need some grass and stuff. I kind of want to do that last, once I know where all this stuff is going. So we can probably, what we could actually do is maybe have it more kind of built into the cliff. That could be interesting. Realistic that would be, but it might just help this be a little more interesting of an area. And I'm going to need to obviously do something there now. Let's see. I feel like if we're going to build this into the area, we really need to make this feel a little bigger. Let's test the scale out. Yes, the scale is pretty massive in this area, but blocking sightlines I think is going to help a lot for the horror of this hunt. Um, so yeah, it's going to be pretty important to do. But yeah, we get a feel for this now. This feels pretty cool. Definitely need more of these side elements around. We definitely need some foliage, but yeah, that's going pretty good, I think. Let's see, what else can we do? I need to probably just stop talking and get into it, to be honest. To, Probably use some of this kit stuff to build out like a platform. 4 meter, 8 meter, probably 4 meter. Did we try playing at this texture, or is it gonna stretch? Stretch. Let's see. So we got the stairs there. So if I so that gives us something to work from. Let's see. I get around some of these pieces. What is that? Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to know too if level design is something you guys want to see on stream or not. It's definitely obviously a pretty big part of the development process, but I don't know if watching me just like place assets all over the place is actually interesting in any way. Yeah. So I'm thinking, let's see. What do I want you to have to get up to it? Right there. So instead, map's looking really nice so far. Appreciate it. Just hanging out. Yeah, it's still obviously like work in progress, but it is definitely getting there. Especially now that I have the assets and most of the story and mechanics and stuff figured out. It's just a case of like building out the locations in more of a finalized way. Let's see, we want the form, not the corner, top 4 meter. Okay, yeah, and I'm thinking we'll put the stairs there. So we have these stairs. Is that something like that gonna work? I also need to really keep checking the scale because that's something I'm not very good at with level design is making sure the scale stays right. Like that I think is now fucked up, isn't it? Let me check. I can fit under here. Okay. The thing needs to be spot though. Would have to be then that part becomes kind of irrelevant. Make you come up this way then. Oh yeah, let's just do it like this. Time of day so I can see this area a little better. Let's, for that bit, uh, squeeze in. Yeah, that'll work, I think. Just for this so that people don't get stuck in that little hole there. People get stuck no matter what I do, but I'll try to block the gaps. There you go. All right, sweet. So yeah, I think it's a little more interesting to have it up like this. Let me just make sure that layout is good. We can build out the rest of it. Good, and then you'd go up here, and then I need to obviously cut a hole in this so you can get through. I think you can crouch under it right now though. And then I need to put the climbing bit in. Okay. Cool, getting there. So let's duplicate that. Slope wall be? Let's see what they mean by slope wall. Again for a second because otherwise it's too hard to see what is actually happening down here. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do about that corner bit. And then also I need to be careful you can still get under here. It's kind of becoming a little bit cramped. This doesn't work out, I might have to move the stairs again. Into there. We also need to handle that bit, that corner, and then double check that's enough room. So I don't want it to be too tight, like it is a kind of a cool spot to have something. So let's look at this part. Guess it's that piece. Goodness sakes. What piece was I looking at? Okay, that's gonna take the whole thing. Let me just go to the bathroom real quick. Right, so do we have a smaller version of this? Yep. An angled one though. This is the fun of using a modular kit. You gotta figure out which piece you need to use. So when in doubt, just slap something in. That's not gonna work though, unfortunately. This one. Oh, there's also these stairs. If those metal ones don't work properly. There you go, that'll work. To block that off, I might just have to do that. For some reason, this isn't aligned to the kit. I need to get an angle. Oh, why it's not in there. Right, and we're gonna need something for this bit. Surely there's a corner element for that. Also, I'm just gonna, since I'm not doing code stuff, I'm just gonna go back to my normal scale on 1440 so I can have more room in the content browser. Might make some of this slightly harder for you to see, but it's gonna be easier for me to work on this stuff. Looking for that cat piece. This? It's supposed to be that, but that will work. Oh, will it? Wait. This one? Just go like hide that, I'm just going to have to turn off this and just go up and back slightly to get rid of that Z fighting, since I'm overlapping these meshes. Oh, actually doesn't go back far enough. Yeah. Yeah, and now we just need something for in here. It's that like generic. This is gonna be tough because you're supposed to actually walk under here, so cover that up real quick. A beam, column, half beam. It's literally such a small piece I need to cover. All right. So now we've got this. Let's see if that is decent to get through. I'm gonna have to probably shift. It feels kind of weird that this rock is so close now. I'm gonna need to make a bit more space in here. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. And if you want, you can just jump off the side, which is always good. Cool. All right. I am happy with that. So now let's just blend this in a little better. Like other rocks closer to the ground and possibly back here or something. I really want to try and discourage people from going back this way, so I'm going to put a bigger rock here. And also, it probably should gravel out this way, since that's now like kind of a main part of where you're supposed to go. Foliage. Shift him over. All right, cool. Cool. All right, now let's see. So we need some more structural stuff going on here. If these assets have decent structure stuff, really. Might be under props. Really prop up concrete with a pipe. um, So that's probably not going to work. Could do though, to make the entrance of this a little cooler, is put in a couple of need anti-tank in this area, to be honest. Cool, and yeah, and we'll put some lights and stuff in. Let's see. Yeah, there's radar stuff. I'm not using that. I just made my own stuff. Um, I just want like, I guess this will work. Some sort of support for this, basically. I also need to make a tool or find a tool that makes it easier for me to align stuff back to the grid once it's off grid again. Because my go-to way for doing that is just to duplicate the asset. Duplicate one that is lined up, but that isn't always great. And then we can probably just put a couple of these along to make that feel like it's supposed to be like that. What do you guys think? And then put some lights and decals and foliage, and then get all this lined up. Some more decoration on here, and we should be good. Pog. Pog pog. Barbed wire? Could do a wee. Could do a wee, I mean, they wouldn't really do that though, would they? But hey, my game, can do what I want. Alright, let's duplicate that up. I just feel like it needs, like, there's a lot of concrete going on, you know? Like, I want to decorate this with something. I feel like something on top of the concrete makes sense. Just going to misalign this stuff slightly to make it feel a bit more organically placed. And to balance that out, now we're going to need one over here somewhere. That. And I'll leave this front part free so you can jump off. Looking good. Cheers. I need to do the lights as well, but for now I can just put in they put these. Probably would be one up here somewhere. And then yeah. Because lighting is a good way to make people know where they need to go. If that makes sense. Okay, and then now that's not really, there's no like power or anything around here, so if we have a generator asset or anything, we're just gonna have to use our imaginations. But generator panel, yes, that'll work. I mean, surely they would have some way of generating or like using power without power. You know what I mean? Was this cable fuse boxes? Do that then. We're too overboard with the detailing right now because this is supposed to be more just sort of still blocking, or not blocking out, but like I still need to make it that I can change stuff if I need to. It's pretty good, I think. Might be able to do something cool with cables possibly, although it would be easier if I make a blueprint for this probably. Cables always make it feel like it's doing something, you know? No idea what that would connect to though. How about we change the silhouette a little more then? If I grab, now that gives me something to connect to, and the silhouette looks more interesting here now. Yo, Lehman, you made it in. Nice to see you, bud. New place for a call later. I need to just make this a blueprint so that I can connect that in a way that isn't completely AIDS like this. But we could, at least. I need to stop detailing. This is the problem, is I get so focused on details sometimes when I'm map making that is it could be an interesting gameplay mechanic, being able to turn that light off. Definitely not how you're supposed to use this asset, but there we go. And that just adds a little bit of interesting silhouette again here. I need to add the hanging stuff off here. Actually, there might be stuff that I can use for that. Something that I can use for just generic hanging cables. Probably have to make something then. Cable spline. Damn, that's cool. Oh, nice. They've already, so there is a spline I could use for this already. Now, but I'm just playing around with it to see how it would work. Yeah, okay. It's a bit wiggly and stuff, but that's cool. Doing well, man. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, maybe like after the stream, an hour or two. All right. Anyway, I probably should stop detailing this now. I just kind of feel like I need one more kind of element here for now. Just don't know what. Yeah, just leave it. Materials, beam. I'm basically looking for something that I can trim this with to blend it in better. Probably small detail, but it just is going to help the tower sit better. Do you do commission levels? No, I've never done commission levels. I guess it's not saying I wouldn't. I just don't know. Never have. Are you looking for a map designer for something? Ah, dang, that doesn't have anything on top. Does the bottom? No, shit. Okay, I need to use a different thing for this. Maybe the column? Nope, that has nothing on top either, which is good for optimization, but annoying if I want to actually show the top. I'm gonna have to use one of these. Probably triggering the hell out of people since I'm not even measuring, lining those up, but it's just deal with it. This is this is gonna help this like asset that I made hopefully blend better with the asset that came from this pack. But yeah, pretty happy with this. I need to do more cable work and stuff, but there's at least probably going to be the first tower location. Um, let's see. Pick it in a few different times a day. It's always interesting to see where the light comes from. So this light facing this way is good for the morning. Yeah, it's probably perfect actually, because then at night that light facing that way will be good. It's just probably want to light some of the tower a little bit. But now I can, I guess, just get a feel for it by simulating the lights before I make the blueprint. So it would just be like a rect light, not the other thing. That, yeah, I guess if you've never seen like making levels or game development like this before, this is kind of how it goes, kind of the process. Yeah, and let's just make it dark so I can see what effect that light is actually having. Yeah, so now what I'm looking for is from a distance at nighttime. Yeah, being able to see that tower better, especially if we put the other one in. And I don't know, maybe like there's mechanics I have ideas for around the Mothman interacting with light and stuff. I'm not sure if I'll end up getting time to put those in or not, but we're kind of set up in a way where, I'm implying that maybe you can turn these lights on and off with the cables, or maybe you can just bolt cut the cables or something. But yeah, pretty good. And then a couple of lights probably up on top of the thing. But yeah, I'd say this location's pretty decent now. Time of day. So during the daytime, I don't know. I'll just leave the lights on all the time probably. Big spotlights on the bottom pointing up. Ooh, could try that. Set it up like that because I can't really angle that the way I would want it. But if I could, it would be potentially like this and then have them point up, maybe. Let's put a few of these on so I remember to do that. Yeah, and then, yeah, like a spotlight. That's a good idea, Ranger. Midnight. And then these guys. I'm going to have to be careful about the amount of overlapping shadows here. Um, these ones, potentially, I might just turn shadows off. And it might be best just to yeah, I think that would work. Like, for example, then there would be another one like over here or whatever. Yeah, I think you're right, eh? That helps a lot. Nice. Good call on that. Good call. These ones could probably do with having a little more scattering intensity, maybe even more. Too crazy to give it that yeah. Oh, anyway, very good. I like it. Um so that's a good decent start to this location. Now I just need to make these stairs blend in and put some foliage and rocks and stuff and whatever. And then when I finish this mesh, can put the puzzle on up here. So you're going to get a pretty decent view from up here once I put all the rest of the assets and stuff in. What did I just say I was going to do? It does kind of bug me that it just goes straight like that. Ah, foliage, foliage, foliage. Okay. So now that I know where I kind of want this to be, I'm actually going to kind of blend in a little bit more of the grass and stuff, so it's not just straight gravel everywhere. Especially in the places people wouldn't really walk too much. A bit more variety around here. Okay, and then we'll do some actual foliage stuff. Ones I've been using. bushes. Material blending on those is kind of messed up right now. I need to fix that. They're like partially transparent even when you're up close. That's good. And then let's see. What do we have? Dead tree? I reckon a tree in here would be good. Where did we put it? Yeah, that's gonna be cool with the lights through like that. If I can get a big one over there, and then let's see. I don't want to block this view too much. Maybe in here. Here. Kind of surround a few of these areas so you feel a little bit more enclosed. Okay, and then let's see. We need like grass. I don't know why I don't have any grass assets in here yet. Yeah, we could do that. This one I will paint, but I'm going to turn that down quite a lot. Make sure we turn off shadows. So I just want like, yeah, a few patches, especially near the edges. Otherwise it looks like a wee bit like flat. Especially like, yeah, where these like rocks and stuff intersect. It helps break that up quite a bit. Oh, cool. Just unlit this because I definitely want to fill areas like this up a bit more. Yeah, it's like a lot more time consuming manually placing this stuff rather than auto generating it like we did for the other maps, but I feel like it comes out with like a better result, like a more natural kind of. It just makes more sense, rather than us having to go back and fix it up. So you can see, yeah, at a few different times we get some. Now that the trees are in there, we get some really cool shadows. See that? That looks awesome. Make sure I do keep a lot of trees in there. Nice. Cool. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this now. I mean, there's still more detailing and stuff to do. Like, I need to do now a decal pass. Like, for example, actually have some light functions. Um, I mean, there's all sorts of things in here we can use. Um, I might make some custom ones for this. Damages and like Ooh, ABC could be good for the towers. What's this one? Like a big crack, I think. Texture. Who knows what that is? Yeah, it's weird that some of these aren't loading the textures. But that actually, something like this could help um, blend this area a little more. If I can find the right decal for it. Cheap viewers, no thanks. Ideally would be using stuff we've already used. I think this is do a big old blood splatter. Not really for this spot. That's not really what I have in mind for this area. Like a puddle or something. That's kind of cool. Not fitting here though. Damage stone. Any of these? What is that? Whatever it is, it's not fitting the area. Looking for something I can like make this ground look a bit more quite cool. Stuff like that though would make way more sense, like down here or like somewhere on the ground. Uh, Surely there's gonna be something. Decal dirt. That is gonna be a dripping one, clearly. Those are supposed to go on like walls and stuff. There's a generic dirt one. Because if I can find something that looks alright, it'll help with the continuity between these two different textures. The right one though, but you see what I mean? Like if I can yeah, to help that transition. And I can do a whole bunch of stuff like dripping down these and like basically just how much time I want to spend. This. But yeah, that's probably about how much time I want to spend on this. Like that's far enough along now. Yeah, that looks good. Well, it looks better than it did. Um, it's about how long I want to spend like getting these areas like or not tempt in, but like the first pass of them in, and then once all of these are in, then I can go back through, do the pathing and stuff, um, and uh, and yeah, make the map flow together properly. So I still have to go around like a lot of the map and put in the cliffs and stuff. Do a little bit of that now, I suppose. Because if I don't break up the flow, it's like really like you can literally just walk in any direction, which is cool. And you kind of can still do that after I do this. It's just it gives the player like more choices. So like yeah, they get to this spot here, right? They can go, oh yeah, I can go check out this tower. They can go up the left side here, or they can go around the right side here, or to something in the background. And it just like helps. I feel like the it flow in a more natural way, like rather than, for example, being over like here and there's just everywhere you can go. It's like decision paralysis. And I feel like it looks better too if things are like broken up more, even if it's more like walking to get around. I still I don't know. It's a big thing that I wanted to try for the Mothman Hunt map, especially if I'm able to make more folklore hunter games going forward. Like I'm trying to find the right like balance or method for making the maps feel how I want them to feel, because that's kind of what horror games are. Like, is a lot about um, the feel and the unspoken stuff, like how like what emotions you get when you play the hunt, for example, or what um, like atmosphere is generated by things that you wouldn't how do I say this? Like you wouldn't consciously notice, but subconsciously you would notice. So I don't know if you guys can tell the difference here on how this area feels from like 2 minutes ago versus now with these. They don't even make much sense, just random cliff things. But hopefully you guys can feel what like I'm trying to explain with words. Like this area now feels more I don't know. I don't know what the word is, like digestible maybe, or like yeah, yeah, you get it. Diff looks nicer, yeah. I mean, it looks nicer too, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, it does look nicer to have different silhouette. Like, over here, there's no interesting silhouette, it's just trees. And these are how the maps start off, obviously, is just, like, we have to start with something. So my first pass is just get the landmass down. So you can see this doesn't look good or feel interesting, even though it's the same lighting, same textures, same everything as over here. It's just because of the way I'm messing with the silhouette, which is another reason these trees are good in this area, and another reason that as much like as much as I can do stuff like, for example, this isn't how this is actually going to be, but for example, if there was cables hanging off this area would look and feel more abandoned and how I actually want it to feel. Um, Kind of hard to show you with an asset that's not built for this, but you kind of get what I'm going for here. Like, if there was stuff like dangling off that. I do think though having some parts of the map more open world would be nice, like decent sized open fields for Mothman. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like having like it is still going to be open. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's going to be. It's not just going to be like you can walk from here to everywhere on the map. You're going to have to like go through a few areas. Like for example, here I could kind of natural areas like this. Like the trees kind of do a lot of the work. So I could go into either of these two areas, or I can follow through the center area. So yeah, you're right though. Demonic is just going to be a case of finding a good balance. Um, I think personally, as a designer, like the way these rocks and cliffs and stuff break up the map makes me feel like it makes the map feel more how I actually intend it to. If that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like I think Skyrim did a lot of this with their maps. They obviously have big mountains and stuff, but like even between the mountains and stuff, there was quite a lot of like stuff, rocks and like cliffs and bits and pieces. So some of them are going to be just like pretty small like this. I think just got to find the bit that feels good to me. The right like kind of rotation and orientation. And that's why these rocks are so versatile, because I can rotate them in so many ways and like almost all of this is the same asset, but it's hard to tell. But yeah, once I have like a rough pass of these in, then it's going to be easier to basically like look at from above. You can see I've put a couple of paths in and figure out the flow, the gameplay flow. I don't think I did anything here, did I? Yeah, no, I have to make that area still. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it's kind of going to be the process. So I'm going to do a little more on this, and yeah, we'll figure out from there because I need to put the fences and stuff in. So if you're starting in this area, I want to start you somewhere where you have a good view of the radio tower. It's going to be like over here, yeah. I feel like if we start you here, it's a good opportunity to have some of this fenced off to where you want to go here, but you can't yet until you get the item you need. Walk around, yeah, I can do that. Obviously, it's not done or anything. I was just in the middle of placing the assets, but yeah, if I walk through some of the areas we've done, some of the areas we've been working on, um, you can see this is. I probably should move. Let me do it while I think about it. Sorry, and then we'll continue. Difficult because I want the shadows from some of these trees, but I don't want them to interfere with the sight line. So come on, let me select. Why can't I select? Anyway, yeah, we were right here. So now you can see, ooh, there's an interesting tower, but clearly can't get in here. So, uh, explore around, find, some form of something. And also, yeah, sightlines back this way looking more interesting now. We have like foreground, middle ground, background going on, which help a lot more. And the rocks are going to play in a little bit with the behavior of the Mothman, I think, too. So I don't know if you want to see this area, but this is kind of the tower area. So there's going to be a back place back here you can go that'll lead to something. Not sure what yet. Like I want to leave plenty of open forest and stuff because it is a hunting game. Like I want to leave you room to hunt in the forest, but I do want to make enough interesting places that it's not all just walking around like a forest. Yeah, and then up here, see, still get some cool sight lines. We get some views out to potentially some of the next areas, like putting the next radio tower might be good to do somewhere that you can visibly see from here. To give you an idea of the area, I was just putting some rocks in, how it feels now. This one I think adds a lot, and then it feels clear to me either go right or left, which is what I was going for, and the path kind of wraps around this way. So leaves me a good opportunity to put some like more forest area in here, make it a bit denser, etc. It's a good question, Demonic. Um, it's a good question. I don't really have a good answer right now, unfortunately. Um, if I can make that work, I want to. I'm gonna have to see how the story hunt turns out first to see if it's gonna be feasible. Um, yeah, you can see down here like this looks really bare. I need to add some stuff, but I think Jenny, is there anywhere else you wanted me to go, or is that? It's gonna go to the bathroom. You guys think about that? I'll probably go for another, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, and it's probably mostly gonna be rock stuff. 3 o'clock. Yeah, I won't go for too much longer. There's some stuff I need to do before the day's out off stream. Let's check the other, yeah, different times of day. That's the other thing with like having more stuff on the horizon in that. It creates more interesting shadows too, which is always good. Right. So yeah, let's see. I think I keep saving the map. Like most of this stuff is paintable. Oh, that's a really tall one. What the hell? It's like kind of random when I click what trees get spawned. Not take too much from that sideline there. Back here, probably quite a lot more dense. Still need some biggish areas of forest, more or less. Need to put bushes and stuff in, obviously, too, but not going to worry too much about props right now. It's mainly these rocks that I want to get get in. So this area feels like it would be cool if you couldn't walk straight to it. You had to walk around like a cliff. Lots of good places to take cover as well. It's coming along good. Definitely can adjust some of this stuff if needed, but that's kind of the feel I'm going for this map. The kind of density in a lot of places of like obstacles, cliffs and whatnot. I can delete a whole bunch of trees after this. Will there be areas with lots of foliage making it harder to see the Mothman if he's on ground, allowing to sneak kind of? Yeah, I do think that's a good idea, eh? Like having even more dense than this. I mean, I have let's see, as an example, where is it? I can't remember which one of these it is. This one? Yeah. So this one we can definitely make it feel more dense by having smaller, lower trees. So we can do stuff where we can have two layers of like visibility. So like some more there. Yeah, so multiple layers like this where the outer bounds of some of the forests probably it probably actually does need to be more dense. You're right, but like quite thick like that, and then once you walk inside the forest, there's more like kind of open areas. So I need to make sure I leave gaps here so that you know you can go into this area. But now you can see um, it's dense, and then I go in, and then it kind of opens up, but there's still um, like blocked sight lines, kind of. That makes sense. Basically, like what I'm doing with the rocks, but like on another, like a fractal level inside the forest itself. I can do that with rocks as well, but these trees are great for that. The mini ones. I'm trying not to put too many of those in just yet. I want to do that later in the process because it's a lot harder to undo like that than it is the other trees. So I want to make sure I've got the layout how I want first. Um, yeah, you can see this isn't going to take too long to go from my block out phase, what we have, to what how I kind of want most of the map to be. You can see we've done most of the area. Where is it that you can see on the screen there? Um, so like this part here. So it's just a case of going around and making sure this is all how I want it to be. So yeah. Speaking of, you should return to working on the concept of hiding in bushes and such. Yeah, I should. Does that still work? Um, Probably not in these assets, right? Maybe it does. I can't remember how far I got with that. Like if I crouch, my visibility goes down by half. I think I only set up specific ones in the Night of the Wendigo map, maybe. Remember exactly which bushes can do it. Not blueprints either. But anyway, yeah, it is something that would probably add to it, wouldn't it? Like being able to hide in these bushes. I think you're right. Especially because obviously Mothman's going to fly, so the sight line to the sky is kind of important to me, which is why I'm going with trees like this, so that it's not like full coverage above, but it's still a little bit, like if he was flying around looking for me right now, it leaves enough gaps to where you can still see the sky. Right now, it either doesn't work or works so well you're basically invisible. It's like, yeah, nice. Yeah. It's kind of a mechanic I put in and then kind of forgot about, to be honest. The stealth. Do a little more stuff here. But yeah, if you have like map design questions, I think Lemon's definitely the man to talk to. I'm not very good at this stuff, but I try. But Lemon did a lot of the cool map stuff in the Bloodfang hunt with the POIs and stuff. Okay, before I get too far out, I do need to kind of think about it's gonna work here. I really want to prevent you from going into basically the second chunk of this map uh, with a gate, the bolt cutters. Um, I think I want to cut the map in half. It might just be a couple of these locations, or maybe just the compound or something. But I want to try and make it feel like you're progressing through the map. Like you go to areas, then get an item from somewhere else, and then now that unlocks new things you can do at the existing areas you've been to. So let me just see where, because I was thinking I kind of wanted to have three of these towers probably. I just don't know where I want to put them exactly. I mean, that one kind of makes sense to have a tower right there, but it might be a bit close to the one that's already there. But let's just do it. I'll just follow my gut and then we can adjust later. So like, for example, if there was one there, um, I'm gonna need one way up this side as well now. Find like natural kind of hills that I can use. I may need to make the map a little bit bigger, but I want to make it bigger as needed rather than just making it big and then having tons of area that I have to fill with stuff. So if you were up here, I do think my gut's telling me this spot where I've already put something, which is probably my gut probably told me the same thing when I put that thing there, which is nothing. But well, I might turn it into something, but right now it's just like literally just an empty mesh just to say this is probably going to be an area with something in it. Um, but yeah, so if we did something like that, then we're looking at tower, tower, tower. I probably want more of a triangular layout than that, which would mean it would need to be over here. But this is already here. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we'll put it halfway between boom. This side of the map does need stuff too. Shit. Oh, well, it can be in a line, whatever. Going to be spooky getting hunted while he's airborne. Having him peer review the current POI here would be nice. Oh, Lemon? Yeah, yeah. Maybe he'll be up for it. I don't know. You have to ask him. Yeah, so let's see. I think it's fine. I mean, ideally, I was going to have it more in a triangular layout than that, but that's fine because pass the signal across and then, yeah, that would be good. First radio tower's sick. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. I mean, it's still not done or anything, but like it's definitely in the right direction, like kind of where I need it to be, I think. I don't want to make it too overly dense, but I think it just needs some decals and, adjust the mesh and some lighting and stuff, and we should be good, I think. So the second one can be up on this kind of cliff area, which I think is good because then it's kind of like up the path, go through here, or go around the cliff this way and up to this area. And then I'm not sure what's going to be on this side just yet, but I want to have some more bunkers and stuff here. And then, yeah, the later part of the POIs is going to be the military compound and the lab. But I'm going to have, like, hopefully a bunch of these bunkers and stuff and maybe a river through the rest of it. So, yep, I think I'm happy with that. And then probably some more smaller locations around here as well. Like, definitely like some sort of note or lore location down here, I think would be good. Yeah, very good. So let's see. I think if I'm just putting rocks, like putting the most obvious cliff lines and stuff that I want first, and then can work on it from there. It's hard because like everything affects everything else. So like where I put the rocks affects where I want to put the POIs, but then where I put the POIs is where the rocks, like it's kind of a, and that's why I'm on version 3 of the map because it's just a case of just trying stuff basically. A lot of it there's no way to know whether it's gonna be what I want until I just do it. These rocks are so good. Whoever made these is OP. They're so versatile. It's like almost all of, I think all of this is the same rock. There is two of them, and I'm only basically using one of them for most stuff. It's pretty crazy. The bridge element prop will be seen close to the river, I'm guessing. Yeah, I need to figure out where I'm putting that as well. It's tricky the way I've laid this map out where I'm going to put that. I'm kind of just I want to get the flow in first before I do that. It's either going to be a semi background thing you can't really get to, or it's going to go from this island probably out somewhere. Not that this is supposed to be an island, by the way. It's supposed to be basically like this is all kind of land back here. So it's like kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's tricky because it's a game map, so I've got to put in barriers around the map somehow. So it's definitely a bit more islandy than I kind of wanted, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm not sure where the bridge will go yet. If I were you, I would have split the map in half and have a bridge to connect them. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think the second version had something like that. Hmm. It's not a bad idea though, Demonic, because like it's the only thing is it's not going to be like a very big bridge then, because like we're only talking about like from here to here. But it definitely would be possible because you can see it does kind of pinch in a few areas, especially right here, to where I could make that possible and then expand out the map a little bit the other way. Definitely something I'll think about for sure. But yeah, I was thinking of just having the bridge go off in a direction, but yeah, you've got me thinking now. is pretty much a perfect line right there, where all the base stuff is over here, the early stuff, and then all the advanced stuff's over here. So it's like it's almost begging for it, isn't it? You're kind of right. Because like I'm not trying to basically make the exact, law, the real, was it the Silver Bridge or whatever? I'm basically just trying to take elements of that and create my own story that's inspired by that. Um, so it doesn't have to be a massive intercity bridge. Yeah, urban area, maybe. I'm always kind of scared of doing urban areas, to be honest. It's the amount of assets. The last game I worked on was set in a city, and I think it was a level designer by the end of it placed. I think it was definitely over 150,000 assets. I think there's probably more than that. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I'm kind of tempted to try that at some point now, that river right there, because we already kind of have what feels like a kind of a cliff here on kind of both sides. See, we'll see. All right. I'll place a couple more rocks and then I'm basically gonna hop off. In fact, well, yeah, let's just do a couple more. Just trying to think which areas I need to leave free because there's this over here is going to be something I'll talk about that in another stream. I've laid out basically the main POIs, like the main places you'll get like story rich stuff, like in Night of the Wendigo, we got like the ruins, the shaman cave, the Wendigo cave, the cabin, like all that. These are kind of this map's version of those, and then in between is going to be a whole bunch of smaller POIs with various clues and stuff. So I just want to basically get these like main ones laid out. And I was thinking three radio towers, but maybe it will be not three. We'll see. But yeah, the ritual grove, it's not actually a grove anymore anyway. It's gonna be something else. And I can't stop thinking about demonic suggestion now. Like all I can see is that being a perfect split, which changes things a little bit. I'll think about it between streams. It's going to change the gameplay flow I was planning on a little bit, but that's fine. We can do that. So in areas like this, I'm just going to have to just have generic POIs and stuff probably, and just generic area, forest area for you to fight them. I don't think there's much I can really do out here other than that. This is kind of those areas where you just have space with maybe a few smaller POIs around, camps, notes, that kind of thing. Me, if I just walk this in game again, we'll see if I did put a river there, how that would flow. I like having that tower behind this cliff face, that's good. And I can see that it's a denser forest over there, like someone was suggesting. I forgot already. Nice sightline to another POI. That's a minor one, by the way. It probably won't be that asset. Maybe it will. I don't know. Yeah, the more I can break up the flow like this, so you're not just walking in a straight line, the more it's going to hopefully feel like you're actually exploring rather than just walking from point to point to point. So this is basically on the edge of where that potential river would go, right up here. I need to commit before I do it because I need to be able to roll back. But like, as long as I don't hit save from now on, we're fine. It's kind of sketch to do this, to be honest. Um, maybe if I add another layer. Not sculpt that bit down. Yeah, this is just to see how it would feel anyway. Pretty radical change to the mat from what I was kind of planning, but feel like might be a good idea. What do you think, guys? I don't know. I'm pretty tempted now. It's a small bridge though, but we could also have a big bridge in the background, and this is kind of an implied. Or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good idea to have two bridges. Maybe that's just confusing. The only thing stopping me is the size of it, really. Yeah, invisible blockers, man. I'm not adding a swimming system. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough to make the river too much wider. I could maybe pull it back this far so it's about twice as long. I don't want to take away too much of the map we have right now. Um, the other thing I could do to make it feel longer is have the bridge be longer than the actual river. So there would be like, like a like yeah, like that basically, like a cliff up here, and then same on this side to where the bridge is actually longer than the river is, and that'll make it hopefully feel a bit better. But I'm gonna have to do some major adjusting to the terrain if I do this. I don't know. This could be good actually. Die if you fall in. I am a Kiwi optimist. Fish and chips. What are some other Kiwi words? Um, Marmite, wheat bix. I don't know if Lemon's still here, but Kiwi kids are wheat bix kids. Lemon, not Australian. Oh, you're same? Nice. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm in Dunedin. Lived in Auckland for a while. Lived in Christchurch for a while. Yeah, if you're ever in Dunedin, let me know. Yeah, okay. Well, I think that could be a thing potentially. Hopefully, what will happen now is if I go into here and turn this layer off, I thank God they added this layer system. So if I don't want to have the river, I'm not committed to it now, which is good. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna have to think about that now, but yeah, I think we did pretty good on this new area and some of the rocks and stuff. Just in case you guys haven't seen the whole thing, we basically built this today. This little radio tower spot. I still need to put all the mechanics and stuff in for it, or place them anyway, and do the lighting and decals. But you can see how this feels like in the dark, actually. Nighttime. One thing I was thinking about doing for this map as well, we can try it now, is having a tiny bit of emissive at nighttime in the fog. Don't do that for the other maps, but I think with this map could be quite good. So that you still have a little bit of depth at nighttime. It's probably hard to see on stream. Friggin' blur on everything. And the ground texture's messed up at night. I gotta fix that as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. Decent. I haven't put the ladder volumes in yet, but I can just play from here. Before I hop off, you can kind of see, at least at night time, what the view would be like. Nice clear path to the next tower, which is good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with all this. Oh, that's going to kill me, isn't it? Oh, that's right. You can't die from full damage. I forgot I did that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Separate the end bit with the main bit with water and a bridge, and you have a killer boss arena. Upvote. Cuba kids are Wheatbix kids until you go to Australia and Milo and Wheatbix say they're for Aussie kids. I know. I know. Wheatbix is originally Aussie though. Nah. There's so many things like that, Pavlova and that. Yeah, I'm a dev by day. Yep. I'm doing this full time, running my own company. Been in the industry 10 years. Well, at the end of this year, it'll be 10 years. Yeah, no, I'm glad you like it, man. Lemon, the map, I'm assuming you're talking about, not the Wheatbix. Yeah, I think it's good progress. We're almost there. You can see how quick this came together now that I've kind of got stuff planned out. So the rest of this map won't take too long to get to this level. And then it's a case of we'll go through and make sure the paths are laid out, make sure the puzzles are working, and then do the AI stuff. Make sure the AI, like I'm saving that until a little bit later because I want to make sure I understand the map and how it's laid out fully so that I can make the AI take advantage of it. So that's why we haven't done that yet. But yeah. Anyway, I will catch you all in the next stream. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm not sure when the next stream is, maybe tomorrow, but